Oh my god, guys, I am so excited. Yes, you'll never guess why. Title of the video? Nothing to do with it. No, it's because I've got this. Random Access Memories, the new Daft Punk album. It's a vinyl. It's a double vinyl. And this arrived yesterday, and this is the most exciting thing that's happened all month. All year so far, actually. So I just watched the Xbox reveal thing, and yeah, the name of the new console, the Xbox One. Think we already have one of them. I think we already had an Xbox One, really. I mean, there was rumours a while ago that they were just going to return to just Xbox, and people were like, you can't do that, because people are going to confuse it with the old Xbox. You can't do that. And they pretty much have done that. They're just calling it Xbox One, which just is a shit name for many reasons. For one, it doesn't look like one console. It looks like two consoles glued together. The box is huge, and it comes with a huge Kinect thing as well, which seems to be standard packaged with the machine. So that's it now. You get an Xbox, you also have to have a Kinect. You also have to have a camera in your room looking at you all the time. So they didn't answer questions that gamers would ask. I mean, this is a system, and this isn't news, of course. We've been predicting this for a long time, but games consoles by Microsoft and Sony are moving more and more towards this one box to rule them all thing, you know, and they just want to take control of the living room and have you use their system for everything. Well, hopefully it's going to be a bit more reliable than the previous systems then, because it was funny at one point. One of the guys on there said that this is a console that is built for today and for well into the future. Well, let's hope we don't have a Red Ring of Death scenario then on this console, because if you're going to try and get people to use your machine for everything, that means more usage of the thing. That means it's going to have to be more reliable. So hopefully the thing's going to be a bit more, yeah, a bit more reliable. So it's they're not making these machines for gamers anymore. So even to talk about this as a kind of gaming machine reveal just feels like a complete misnomer, because that's not what it is. Yeah, it's an entertainment system that does everything. Well, I don't need it to do everything. I want a games machine. I want a games machine. That is what I want. I didn't think it could be any worse than a PS4 conference, but it actually was. It was actually worse than a PS4 conference, because the general kind of how the Xbox reveal went was sports, TV, sports, TV, TV, sports, sports, TV, one game, and that's it. It was ridiculously shit. It really was shit. I'm not excited in the slightest. I don't want Kinect to be that integral to a gaming machine either. I don't want to have to. Well, I'm assuming that you have to. They didn't answer the questions that gamers would ask. So they didn't say whether you had to have Kinect on. They didn't say whether you could use it without it. The whole voice activation thing seems pointless. You know, when you have one of these, which is just as fast. Yeah. And I don't want to have to be talking to my TV the whole time. I feel like a bit of an idiot. Yeah. I don't want to be doing that. It's very easy with this. There was no need to change that to this voice activated thing, which doesn't add anything to it. Neither does the swiping of things on the Kinect and pulling stuff out and all this business. Yeah, I can also navigate menus with this. So sorry, those people pretending to be excited in the audience. I don't know how much you're getting paid, but that wasn't exciting in the slightest. So anyway, let's go through my notes here, which are a little bit scrabbled because nothing was really excited. So I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Okay, right, so first of all, there's something that I noticed in the intro before the conference got started, and probably nobody's going to pick up on this, but it's just one little example of this corporate hype machine propaganda bollocks that you see all over the place. And it was as you saw this procession of people getting excited about, you know, this and whatever, there was a black female soldier. Sure, there was a black female soldier as one of the people, and I just hate when they do that. There was a poster campaign for signing up to the Territorial Army in where I live recently, and the poster had this black female soldier beaming with a big smile, and I just thought, oh, that's so insidious. Because let's face it, it's not black females making the decisions to send these people over to these bullshit wars to control oil fields and whatever else it is. But anyway, not on topic, just something that annoyed me. Right, first we had Dan Matrick, who talked about intelligent TVs, and everyone was talking about stuff being alive and all this business. And that's, I don't want my TV to be intelligent. I want it to do what I tell it to do. I don't need it to be intelligent. Sorry, don't need it. Don't need intelligent TVs. All-in-one system. Xbox One is a shit name. Looks like two systems. It's huge because they're trying to fit all these different functions into it. I just want a games machine. I mean, look. Wouldn't it have been awesome if Xbox just came back with a dedicated game machine that just does games and it was about as big as a Dreamcast? How cool would that be? No, this thing's massive. Anyway, so it's just, taking up more room. Yeah, anyway, so the Kinect 2 is huge as well. I really don't care about Kinect. There was no Lumi Room, so this thing that was getting rumoured about, there was no Lumi Room. Whether they've ditched it, whether it's coming to E3, who knows. The voice activation, meh. I had a Dell Inspiron 1520 laptop that had voice activation on it like 6 years ago, so big whoop, don't really give a shit. It's not going to help me. So then it was all about Skype. So Skype came on, and Skype is owned by Microsoft, of course, and not too secure in the communications there. If you know, I'll link an article in the lower bar about this, but your Skype communications are not entirely secure. If you want to know more about that, go and check the link out. But then it was all about sports. EA came to the stage, and it was that next? No, we'll wait for that. That came later. Next it was Mark Whitten, who said that we will be having a Blu-ray drive. Awesome, I guess. At least it's going to have physical media. It's going to be almost silent, the machine. To be expected, really. It's a machine for now and well into the future, so let's hope we can avoid those red rings. Now the voice function apparently will sync to a whole family can use this voice activation function, so will there be a hierarchy? Because I can envisage, arguments and people just shouting stuff at the telly to try and pick what they want to watch and what they want to do with the console, and you got the whole family trying to tell the Xbox what to do. That could end up a bit messy, so maybe you have to have a hierarchy. Let's see if that is part of the system. We don't know yet, they didn't say. But yeah, if you're the dad of the family, you're going to want to have the deciding vote on who controls the Xbox. You don't want your kids just blabbing off and trying to change what it's doing. Right. Feedback in the triggers on the controller, apparently. Can't see any reason for that. Seems a bit unnecessary. Also seems like it's just another thing begging for the controller to mess up, to break, to malfunction. So I don't see the point in feedback in triggers. If anything, I want these. Triggers controllers should become less. What's the opposite of feedback? One of the things I was hoping for with new controllers would be that the thumbsticks were lower down. Like, these are raised up like this. See how these raised up, yeah? Now, after long sessions of playing Halo, I've noticed your thumbs get a bit tired, a bit sore actually, because this is quite a lot of movement, and there's no need for that amount of movement. If you lowered the sticks and tightened it so that there was less amount of movement to do the same kind of inputs, if you get me, that's something that I think controllers need. They don't need feedback on the triggers. They need it to be more comfortable and more able to, less injury inducing, I guess. Anyway, didn't talk about that. The sticks look nice. They've got a little bit of roughness around the edges. What do you call that? It's alright, I guess. Smart glass, meh. Do not give a shit about smart glass. Right now, So they were talking about cloud gaming and all this stuff, and all the TV functions, how fast it flicked between TVs and movies and games and everything else. Maybe if you've got a really brilliant internet connection, because it's quite ironic that halfway through this reveal thing, I started having streaming issues. I've got a fairly decent internet connection here, but I started having issues and it started pausing. The stream started pausing, so it was something wrong with the connection. And I thought it was quite ironic, because a lot of the things that they were harping on about would be reliant on a very fast and reliable internet connection always being on. Now, I don't have that. Sometimes our internet connection here goes off for a few hours at a time, maybe a day at a time. Sometimes, don't know what it is, sometimes it does that. Whatever. It's not 100% reliable. So those services are not going to be as smooth as that guy was making out. And when he was stood in front of it, and the guy at the start was illustrating the swiping and the voice controls and all this stuff, I thought, is he really doing that live, or is that a mock-up? Because he was doing other hand movements whilst he was talking, and the Kinect wasn't picking those up. So only when he wanted it to, and he was doing this, did it react to what he was doing. And when he was just enunciating with his hands, he didn't pick them up. So I don't know, it seems a bit silly. So apparently there'll be a dedicated DVR for recording games, so you can share on Xbox Live, not on YouTube though. I guess they're trying to muscle in on YouTube's action there. Don't really care about that. Right, then we had Andrew Wilson from EA, who got cheers for FIFA, Madden and NBA and something else. Cheers for the next instalment of sports games that come out every fucking year. Literally for the last 2 decades, beyond. That's not exciting. That was expected. We knew that was going to happen. There's going to be sports games on every console until the end of the planet. Cheers for sports games. Unbelievable. And then we had a bunch of interviews with sports people talking about sports, and then a little bit of a look at the new engine, which only looks impressive close up and in slow motion. So this is something that annoys me about next generation consoles, is that they don't seem to realise that they go down this path of just focusing on the tech, the graphics, the tech is only impressive in slow-mo and close up. When you zoom out and you're actually playing games, it really isn't going to be that much difference between the engines on the 360 and on Xbox One. There's not going to be that much difference. And that was illustrated not just in the FIFA games, but in the Forza game as well. It only really looked next gen when it was close up and slowed down. Slow motion close-ups, right? You could see the sparkly paint on the cars and that. When it was zoomed out and just normal, it wasn't even game graphics, it was demo graphics, but didn't look that much different to current gen. So this is why, this, I think it's wrong-headed of them to just think that by telling you that you've got a more powerful machine, that's it. Everyone's going to be sold. No, it's about innovation of gaming experiences. That's why Nintendo has always does well, because they innovate on gaming experiences. The Wii underpowered, easily the highest selling console that generation because it innovated, because it gave you something unique and gaming experiences that you couldn't get anywhere else and that were new and fresh. They're trying to do it with the Wii U. They're not there yet, but at least they're trying. So the only next gen gaming experience I'm interested in, or excited about rather, is the Oculus Rift. So far, PlayStation and Xbox haven't announced any kind of VR support on their next consoles, but we'll have to wait for E3, I guess, to see if there's anything innovative coming, because so far there isn't. It's all very predictable. But cheers for sports games. I got nothing. Yeah, their new engine called Ignite. We didn't really get to see much of Ignite. Like I said, we just saw some interviews with sports geezers. who were all obviously signed up to for sponsorship deals and linked to EA, so they're contractually obliged to come and talk bullshit at Microsoft conference. Anyway, then we had Phil Spencer. And apparently nobody at the Xbox conference can talk because a lot of people are having kind of vocal slip-ups. My favourite was Paul Spencer, who said, innominative instead of innovative, innominative, he said. Anyway, what have I got here? Oh yeah, then we saw the intro, the demo, not the demo. We saw the opening intro FMV, whatever you want to call it. I can't think of a game called Quantum Break, which didn't show us any of the actual game, so I'm not going to get excited about that either. And they made a big deal about that being exclusive, and also on some of the other games, I think it was a Call of Duty, they tried at the end, they tried to sell that it was exclusive first on Xbox One, which means it's not really exclusive, it's just it's coming to Xbox One first, and then a couple of months later PS4 will get it, same shit. So that's not exclusive. It's really squeezing, scraping the bottom of the barrel to try and make out that that's exclusive when it's not. It's going to go through the platforms later. But exclusivity is not something that gamers are excited about. Exclusivity is only something that benefits hardware manufacturers. It's not something that gamers give a shit about. They just want fun games. They don't give a fuck about exclusivity, right? You know, if Halo was on PS4, I'd still enjoy Halo. Anyway, then we had Nancy Tellum, who talked about TV on a games console. Don't give a shit. I've got nothing to say on that. I don't care about TV. I don't care. And then we have Bonnie Ross from 343 Industries. I was injured watching this pile of shit. Bonnie Ross from 343 Industries talked about Halo, and apparently it's more than just a game. No, not to me it isn't. And I don't care if you got Steven Spielberg directing your live action Halo TV series. It's a game. And I like Halo for it being a game. I'm not going to watch its fucking TV series, especially if you want to charge for it. I don't know if I will. But that's not something that interests me. I don't give a shit. And this thing on the TV service about trending. Why do I give a shit about Why do I give a shit about what's trending? You know, the majority watches stuff like X Factor. The majority watches stuff like fucking Jersey Shore, EastEnders. I don't give a shit about what is trending, what the majority of people watch. That's not what I'm interested in. That's not going to help me in the slightest. Anyway, then there was a bit about the NFL. That's about when I fell asleep. And that's it. And then this guy, Eric Hirschberg or something, finished with Call of Duty. And I don't give a shit about that either. And it was funny that he says that we didn't want to play it safe. We could have played it safe, but instead we're doing this. Well, to me, to my eyes, it's still a shooty bang bang game, so you are still playing it pretty safe. It's still pretty damn predictable. And you know, again, they're trying to sell it on the details of being able to see the dirt under the fingernails. Oh my god, yeah, I really do not give a single shit about seeing dirt under the fingernails. For a start, when are you going to notice that? When you're playing a fucking game and trying to avoid getting killed and shooting all this stuff? Nobody's going to give a shit or ever notice that, right? So this is the wrong-headedness of game manufacturers and hardware manufacturers as well. First of all, they're trying to turn their box into a all-in-one solution, and then game developers that they're trying to sell you on the dirt under the fingernails fidelity of the graphics. I don't give a shit. I want fun, new experiences. I want innovation. What a pile of shit. I think I can officially declare myself out of the next generation of consoles. Yeah. PS4 looks boring. Xbox One looks boring. It's got a stupid name. Wii U has just failed to do anything yet. I'm keeping an eye on the Wii U though, because that's the only one with potential. really. And again, it's going to be underpowered, but again, it's going to be innovative and at least have the potential there for new, fun experiences. These things are not aimed at gamers anymore. Microsoft, Sony, they're not interested in gamers. They're not selling it to gamers. They're selling it to young families who want a box that does everything, which seems unnecessary. And let's just hope that they can actually make a box that doesn't break as easily as the last console did. Anyway, I don't know, I got nothing. That's it. That was utter bollocks. So that's it. Alright guys, see you next vid, bye bye.